Hey, I hope you're good. It's wild to think that it's been a year. You'll have either spent the last 365 days pursuing your dreams or allowing time to pass. Either way, a year has come and gone, and I'm hopeful that you stuck with it. And just know that whatever happened, I'm proud of you. Dreams are a funny thing. I don't even know where they come from, but the thing is, we all have them. And the question is, do we dare to go after them? We've all heard those weird motivational gurus tell us how and why we should go after our dreams. But I think when it comes down to it, we simply don't know how. I mean, sure, it's so exciting to talk about how you want to go and achieve all these great big things, but where do we start? Before I set out to achieve this dream, I wanted to get honest with myself. What was the motivation behind all of this? For as long as I can remember, I've always thought that I wasn't good enough. Was this pursuit of something great to convince myself that I was good enough? Or maybe it was for those watching. I've carried so much stress for years, worried about what others perceive me as. Successful, a failure, maybe achieving something I worked so hard for would silence my thoughts. I knew that as the days and months would go on, I would eventually have to come face to face with the true motivation. Either way, it's time to move forward. In the journey of creating something new, it seems like inspiration plays hide and seek. Surrounded by what seems like everyone doing something incredible, I find myself stuck, unable to take my first step forward due to uncertainty, lack of vision, but more importantly, unsure that whatever I do will ultimately be worth it. But instead of letting those thoughts lead me, it was time to make a change and embrace them. Not waiting for the perfect opportunity to present itself, but to create the opportunity and to step into the unknown.
1, 2, ready, kick it.
Our story begins on July 1st, 2023. It all started with an idea to document my life and share it with others. But the idea didn't start here. We have to go back to January. The first half of 2023 had led me to reevaluate my life. It's not that my life was falling apart. In fact, it felt like my life was overall pretty good. I felt like I was going down a path I once recognized, but now I no longer find familiar. And inwardly, my childlike passions were slowly dying. And I realized something needed to change. I slowly started to think about films and how I could share and document my life in a way that I could use real stories and lessons I've learned to share with others. This idea slowly grew for 6 months, and on July 1st, 2023, it was time to make it a reality. The plan was simple. Post a video once a week for a year. How hard can it be? Turns out, it's really hard. Waking up early every day, coming up with new ideas every week, filming, editing, working, balancing relationships, it all starts to pile up until eventually, burnout. Running is a practice I implemented a few years ago. It allows my mind to slow down, and it gives me a sense of moving forward. It had been 152 days since I first started, and up until this moment, everything had been centered around me. It had led me to a lonely, isolated, and dark place. 5 months into this journey, I had hit what felt like rock bottom. I had been nonstop with little to no results, and I was completely depleted. In these moments of solace and silence, old thoughts of motivations would arise. Why am I doing this? And more importantly, who am I doing this for? In the silence, I found that my reasonings weren't fueled by the desire to achieve something great because I loved it. It was to prove to others that I was something more than my own perceived thoughts of how I was viewed. These insecurities had driven me to an unhealthy routine, where work seemed to take more of a precedent than anything else. And because of this wrong motivation, it had led me to the point of exhaustion and emptiness. Nothing would be enough until I could finally be proud of who I was. It's been a busy year, full of highs mixed with a lot of lows. I've had to learn who I am by going through discomfort, challenge, and a lot of struggle. I'd be lying if I told you all of this happened because of me. The reality is, that's not true. I've been able to chase my dreams for the last 367 days because of the people who have encouraged me, loved me, and told me to keep moving forward even when I didn't know how. I've had to borrow faith and strength from others. In this pursuit of my dreams, I've learned a valuable lesson. There's no dream fulfilled that will prescribe a greater identity. It won't remove your deepest insecurities, and it won't fill any emptiness that you may feel. Dreams, however, give purpose. They give you a reason to move forward, to challenge yourself, and to allow you to see who you really are if you step into the unknown. It invites others in and allows them the courage to go after theirs. But overall, the last 365 days were amazing. And here's to the next 365 days ahead of us. So 1 year ago, I decided to upload a YouTube video, and it was in hopes that a year from then, which would be now, I would be able to look in front of the camera and say I'm a YouTuber. I remember just thinking, this is not gonna work. This is definitely not gonna work. And I was putting in about 12 hours. I was probably putting in about eight targeted hours, like really efficient hours where it's like I'm filming, I'm writing, I'm editing. Once all the excitement and like, I feel like when you start a new dream or you're like, I'm actually gonna go after this, it's really exciting for the first like month. But then when you continuously wake up and you continuously don't see results, that excitement starts to kind of like dwindle. I remember I called my dad and I kind of asked him, I was like, I just don't think it's gonna work. He told me, he's like, the reality is it might not work. It might not work. And when I heard that, I kind of was like a little bit taken back, because you want to hear from the people that like support you, like, it's gonna work, you just got to keep going, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. And I remember he just told me it might not work. Like, it might not. And when I heard that, it kind of just changed my perspective, because so often we hear from these motivational gurus and these people that really want you to succeed, like, just keep going, like, it's gonna work, all your dreams are gonna come true, yada yada yada. But there is an aspect where it might not work. And I remember hearing that 3 months in and thinking, look, it might not work, but I said I was gonna do this for a year, and no matter what happens, if it works or it doesn't work, I want to stay true to doing it for a year. And that actually shifted something in my mind, because instead of like my goal being that something I can't control happens, like views and people liking my stuff and being able to do all this stuff because of other people, I was able to then shift my focus to maybe this doesn't work, but I can control posting a video like once or twice every month for a year. I can control that. And if my dream is to be a YouTuber, then it requires something I can control, which I can do, and that's posting a video. So when my dad told me that, it really like put my expectations into check, and I was like, that's true. Your dreams might not come to pass. But that's probably because your dreams are constructed in a way where it's dependent on other people. And so my question to you is, what if your dreams weren't dependent on other people's reactions to said thing, but what if whatever your dream was dependent on the ability that you have to wake up in the present moment and make a choice to go after something you can build and that you can control? I don't know. That was something that I experienced 3 months into this dream journey. And I think if I didn't make that shift, I would have burnt out and I would have stopped. But because I decided to stop worrying like if other people will like my stuff, it did something. So I just finished editing the video and I was just watching it, and I just wanted to talk about Brick really quickly. I'm fully sponsored by them. I'm not trying to like hide that fact. But over the last year, it's been hard to stay focused, especially when you start to lose the momentum that you started with. And I find myself getting distracted with my phone a lot, or I use Instagram to get inspiration, and then all of a sudden I'm like scrolling so much. That's why I use Brick. Physical device, you get the app, you brick your phone, you put it up to the device, it's bricked. And now when I go to Instagram or something, I literally can't until I like physically touch this device again. So I'll do this, and then I'll take this guy and I'll throw it away, and I'll put it in the kitchen, I'll put it in my car, and I'll literally not be able to use my phone. It's allowed me to stay super focused. I just wanted to mention them because they really have like helped me a whole lot, and I'm not gonna bark on and on about them, but definitely check them out. I'll put a link in the description. I'll try to get a discount code as well if you guys want to use it. Technically, I am living out my dream right now that I had a year ago, where I'm making enough money to pay my bills off of YouTube, which allows me to make more YouTube videos. But still, I'm looking forward and thinking, oh, but I'm not there yet. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. And it's like there's this carrot dangling in front of me, and I'm just like trying to grab it. But I forget to look in the past and think, wow, I've literally come so far. I should be proud of myself. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way at all, which is crazy. All I can see is forward and what I don't have. I just hope that you hear these things that I'm saying and realize like your dreams are important, and there's something to be gone after. But at the same time, you have to have like realistic expectations and realize like it takes a lot of hard work. And you just have to like, when you get to that place that you always wanted to take a moment and be like, man, this is really powerful and this is really great. Because I think a lot of us do get to places we once dreamed of. And instead of looking back and thinking, wow, I've like come really far, we kind of look forward and say like, dang, I'm missing so much and I have to do so much more work. But yeah, I think if you've made it this far in the video, only about 20% of you will make it this far. And if you are a part of that 20%, I actually just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you because the 20% that have stayed for these videos are the ones that have actually increased the video projection and the algorithm to pump it. So you guys genuinely have changed my life, and I'm so grateful to say that, you know, we're a 20% family. And if you're a part of the 20%, leave a comment letting me know what your dream is, where you want to be 1 year from now. And I'm so excited to make another video 1 year from now and seeing where you guys are and how far you guys have come. So I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. One sip of coffee, really quickly. Peace.